Hello to my amazing Franklin Academy artists. Welcome to Art with Miss P. Today's lesson is going to be all about the first day of school. Now, for some of you that returned to school this week, this might have been your very first time ever at school, especially for our kindergartners. And of course, our first and second graders, you've already been to Franklin Academy, so this wasn't your first day at school, but it was your first day at school under these very unusual conditions that we're teaching under right now. So whether it was your first day of school or your first day back under these unusual circumstances, everybody was a little nervous. I was, and other teachers at Franklin Academy were a little nervous too, because we didn't know what to expect. It's all going to be so new and so different, so we were all a little nervous about not knowing what to expect. It reminded me of a book called School's First Day, which is about a brand new school that's just been built, and the school is looking all pretty with this brand new carpet and new windows and new grass and new bushes. And then all of a sudden, these children start coming in, and the school doesn't know who these children are, where did they come from, why are they in my building, why are they walking down my hallway, why are they sitting on my floor, why are they running around and playing on my playground, and who are they, and what are they going to do here, and how long are they going to stay? The school was really nervous because the school didn't know what was going on. And then at the end of the day, all the children went home, and the school thought, whew, they've all gone. And then they came back the next day, and the school didn't know what was going on, and why are these children coming back, and what are they doing, and why are they here? And then the school starts learning their faces and learning their names, and by the third or fourth day, the school realized these children were pretty fun, and got to know them and learn their names and their personalities and started having fun with them. And the school really looked forward to the children being there, and it was kind of sad at the end of the day when they went home, and the school really missed them when they weren't there. So after the fourth or fifth day of this, the school realized these kids were fun, and then the school wasn't nervous anymore, and the school looked forward to school days every day because the school got to hang out with these really cool kids. So it kind of reminded me of, while we all might have been a little nervous on Monday, as each day goes by, we get less and less nervous because now we know how it's going to be and how it's what's expected. So it's not so unknown anymore. So I thought it would be fun for us to design our own school, something very similar to this right here, based on the book School's First Day. So we're going to be using a lot of lines. So you're going to hear me talk about vertical lines, horizontal lines, squares, rectangles, circles, ovals. You're going to hear me talk a little bit about some organic shapes and maybe some bump lines. And then we're going to color this using, now I use crayons for this project, but you can use whatever you have at home. And so everybody's going to draw a school very similar to this. We're going to give our school a face because we want to give it some personality. But first and second graders are going to do something a little bit different with theirs than what my kindergartners are going to do. So first and second graders, I'll explain that to you in just a minute. So for this project, you need your white piece of paper, a pencil, eraser. If you have a black Sharpie, get a black Sharpie. If you don't, then use a black crayon or a black color pencil, but a Sharpie would be awesome if you have it. Now, for those of you that are in the classroom, kindergarten is using this size paper. However, first and second grade, we're using a bigger piece of paper, but if you don't have a piece of paper at this size at home, that's okay, because I'm gonna show you how to do it on this piece of paper, but you will need two pieces of paper. So first and second graders, grab two pieces of paper for me, and grab those items, friends, and meet me over in my studio, and we'll get started on our awesome school building drawing. Hello to my flamazing kindergarten friends. Welcome to Art with Miss P. This week's lesson is going to be drawing a school building. So we're going to be drawing this using vertical lines, horizontal lines, squares, rectangles, circles, some organic shapes, and some bump lines. So this is my finished piece right here. I used crayons to finish it off, as well as a black Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie, don't worry about it. You can use a black crayon. All right, so you need a white piece of paper and your pencil and your eraser. All right, here is my white piece of paper. Make sure your paper is turned this way. This is called horizontal or landscape. So we want it turned this way. All right, let's go over lines for just a minute. All right, I'm gonna draw some lines. I'm gonna get another piece of paper right here and draw some lines. All right, a vertical line is a line that goes straight up and down like this. A vertical line can only go one way, straight up, straight down. A horizontal line goes across like this. A horizontal line can only go one direction, across your paper, left to right. This is a square. Two vertical lines and two horizontal lines, and they connect like that, and they are equal. So a square has 4 equal sides. That means all 4 sides of a square are the same. If I drew 2 tall vertical lines like this and then connected it with 2 short horizontal lines like that, I have a rectangle. A rectangle has 4 sides just like a square, but they're not 4 equal sides. These 2 sides are the same and these 2 sides are the same. That makes a rectangle. This is a circle, and we're going to draw a circle today. And this is a bump line. It's just lines that look like this right here. And when we draw them, it's like bump, 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 bump. We use these lines to make a row of bushes, a tree, and even clouds. If I were to take these bump lines and do this, bump, 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 kind of make it go in a circle like that, that can be a cloud. You could also turn that into a flower if you really wanted to. We're not going to do that today, but we are going to draw some clouds. So a cloud is just bump lines that connect like that right there. So those are some of the lines that we're going to talk about today. Vertical, straight up and down. Horizontal, straight across. 2 vertical lines, 2 horizontal lines make a square or a rectangle, a circle, and some bump lines. All right, so let's go back to our blank piece of paper and let's get ready to draw our school building. Okay, right here where my 2 fingers are is where we're going to draw 2 vertical lines. Now look how far apart my fingers are. They're not close together like this. We don't want to make our vertical lines too close together. We don't want them way out here either. We want them about right here. That's about 4 fingers from the edge of the paper, right there. So we're going to draw a vertical line straight up like that. And we're going to draw another one right here. That's going to be the same height. And then we're going to connect it with a horizontal line. Now I've got a little bit of a line left over right there, so I'm going to erase that little extra line. So if you have a little line left over right there like I did, just erase it. So what you now have is a big square in the middle of your paper. 2 vertical lines right here, a horizontal line, and we're going to let the bottom of our paper be the horizontal line for the bottom of our square. This is going to be our school building. So now we're going to put a door, and we're going to make our door wide. We don't want a skinny door. So our door is going to be right here and right here where my 2 fingers are. So I'm going to draw another vertical line right there. And then I'm going to jump way over here and draw another one. Look how far apart my lines are. You don't want them too close together. And then we're going to connect the top of our door with the horizontal line. This is going to be the door to our school. And we're going to put a vertical line down the middle, but we're going to stop it right there. And then we're going to draw a horizontal line going across right there. So it looks like we have 2 doors. Now our school building needs some windows. Windows are going to be rectangles. So I drew a horizontal line and a vertical line and a vertical line and another horizontal line. There's my first window. I'm going to do the exact same thing I did right here. So a horizontal line, a vertical line, another vertical line, and a horizontal line. And try real hard to keep these 2 windows the same size. You want them to be equal. Up here, we're going to draw this same window right up here. So we're going to have, there's the top of my window, a horizontal line, a vertical line, another vertical line, and another horizontal line. So there's my top window. I'm going to do the same thing right here. And I want to keep this window the same as this one. So I'm going to kind of look and make sure it's the same height. Draw a horizontal line, a vertical line, another vertical line, and a horizontal line. Now we have 4 windows. 1, 2, 3, 4. And right here, we're going to put a really big window. So there's my 2 vertical lines, my horizontal line, and another horizontal line. So we have a giant square right there. Okay, so now let's make some window panes. We want to put some window panes inside our windows right here. To make window panes, you draw vertical lines and horizontal lines. So right here, I'm going to draw 2 vertical lines, and then I'm going to put a horizontal line right there, another one right there, and another one right there. And I spaced them out. Try to keep them equal. And then I'm going to come right here in this window, and I'm going to do the same thing. 2 vertical lines. And I've got 3 horizontal lines, so I got to do 3 over here. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do the same thing up here in these windows. 2 vertical lines, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3 horizontal lines, 2 vertical lines, and 1, 2, 3 horizontal lines. So now I've got window panes. We're going to do the same thing right here, but this window is wide, so we can get 3 vertical lines in. 1 vertical line, 2 vertical line, 3 vertical line, and 1 horizontal line, 2 horizontal line, 3 horizontal line. So now we've got window panes right there. All right, we need to put some door handles on our door and some windows in our door. But we're going to make the windows on our door to look like eyes. Kind of like this example right here. Our 2 windows we're going to make look like eyes. We're going to make the handle look like a nose, and we're going to give our door a mouth. We want to give it some personality. So we're going to draw 2 squares, which we know is a horizontal line, 2 vertical lines, and a horizontal line. We're going to do the same thing right here. Horizontal line, 2 vertical lines, and a horizontal line. And then we're going to put horizontal line right there, 2 little short vertical lines, and a horizontal line right there. And I am going to erase that line right there. So eyes, nose, and then we're going to give our door a mouth. And I'm going to open the mouth up like that right there. Let's give him some eyes. I'm going to put a diagonal line and a diagonal line. Whoops. Made a mistake. Diagonal line and a diagonal line. It's like an upside down V. Those are kind of like eyelids. And then you can give him, I'm going to give him little square eyes. We'll color those in when we color. All right, so that is the front of our school building, and we've given our school a face with a big smile because our school is a happy school. So now we've got to put things into the background. Right down here, we're going to draw a straight line from the edge of our school all the way off of our paper, a horizontal line right there. This horizontal line continues, but we don't see it because it goes behind our school. But when it gets right here, we see that line again. This line right here is called a horizon line. This is where your sky meets the ground. So everything down here is going to be colored green, and everything back here is going to be colored blue, like the sky. So now let's put some plants. All right, right here in front of our window, we're going to draw bump lines like this right here. Bump, bump, bump. These are going to be bushes. So bump, 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 bump. Now I drew over my window because these bushes sit in front of these windows. So that means after I draw these bump lines, I have to come in and use my eraser and erase any part of the window that's inside my bush, because we now have a bush sitting in front of our window, so we will not see that part of the window because the bush covers it. So 2 little bushes right there in front of your school. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to draw a tree. And here's our tree. There's our tree trunk. 2 lines, that's going to come all the way down, go off our paper. Right here where we have a horizon line, we're going to erase that inside of our tree trunk because we can't see that line because it disappears behind our tree trunk. And now we're going to use bump lines again to make our tree. So I'm going to start right here and go bump, bump, bump. And I'm going to turn it and make it look like a circle. Bump, 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 bump. And then I'm going to put a few more bump lines in my tree to look like some leaves. So there's my tree, and there's my bump lines right there. I'm going to connect that right there at the bottom. And then I'm going to erase inside right there because we don't see the tree trunk anymore. It's hidden by the tree. So there's a tree. If you want to put another tree on this side, you can. Or you can put anything you want to put over here. I'm going to put a row of bushes. So I'm going to come in right here and go bump, 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 bump. Make them different heights. And I'm going to do another row, but I'm going to have this row come in like this. And these are our bump lines. And then I'm going to erase this horizon line right here because we don't see it inside that bush. So now it looks like we've got some bushes, but you can put a tree right here if you want to. That choice is yours. So let's draw a sun. So up here in the sky, it can be over here, it can be right here, it can be in the middle, it can be wherever you want a sky, wherever you want the sun to be in your sky. I'm going to put my sun right here, and I'm going to draw a circle. And then I'm going to draw some sun rays. And I'm going to have a long line and a short line, long line and a short line. I'm going to turn my paper to help me keep my sun rays going in the right direction. I want it to radiate out from my sun. And I'm doing a long line and a short line. Turn my paper, long line, short line, long line, short line, long line, and a short line. Just makes it look, gives it some variety. So there's our sun. And I think I'm going to have a cloud over here. So there's my bump lines, and I'm going to connect them like that and make a cloud. And I'm going to have another cloud over here, and I'm going to let this cloud run off the sky, run off the page. Now, schools also have flags. Our flag at Franklin Academy is in front of the kindergarten building, and we have a tall flagpole with our flag at the top. So I'm going to draw a flag up here on the top of my building. So I'm going to draw my flagpole, which is going to be a vertical line, and then I'm going to make a rectangle like this. This is going to be our flag. And then we're going to have our stars will be right here, and then we're going to have some stripes right here. And we're going to color these in just a minute. Red, white, and blue. Red and white stripes with a blue background with some stars. If you don't want to put a flag on your school, you do not have to. It is completely and totally your choice. Now, we have finished drawing. We have all our details on there, and we're now ready for step 2. Step 2 is if you have a black Sharpie like this, you can use it, and of course you need to have your parents' permission to use it. And if you are using a Sharpie, get a scrap piece of paper or a piece of newspaper or something to put under your paper. So if you use a Sharpie and it bleeds through, it does not get on your table, it'll get on this piece of paper instead. If you do not have a Sharpie, don't worry, because you can use a black crayon. That works just fine too. What you're going to do is you're going to outline with your black crayon or your black Sharpie your school, just like I'm doing right here. So outline all of your lines. Don't color anything with your black crayon yet. Or if you're using a Sharpie, no coloring yet. We're just outlining right now. Outlining means you are tracing over all of your pencil lines with either a black Sharpie or a black crayon. So get that done, and then in just a minute, we'll meet back up in the studio to finish coloring it. Okay, friends, welcome back. So I have finished outlining everything in black. I did not do my sun rays, but if you did, that's okay. All right, so now everything's outlined in black, and I am now ready to color. So when it comes to coloring, always try to remember, if you choose the smallest things on the paper to color first, it makes coloring a little bit easier, believe it or not. So color the small things first, and then the last thing you'll color is your the biggest areas, which will be your background. So some of the small things are like the face on the door, the flag for sure. So now use your black crayon or any color you want to. I'm going to use black, and I'm going to color these little sections right here black. And that is it right there. I'm going to color those two things black. All right, the next thing I'm going to color is our flag. So I need to get, I've got 96 crayons, guys, so I have a lot of crayons. So give me a second to find my red and my blue crayon. This looks like my blue. Actually, that's indigo. Let me see. Let me pull all these out. I have a ton of crayons. I've got the big box, the big 96 box like that. Here we go. Here is, there's my blue, I do believe. I got so many different blues. That's navy blue, and that's denim, so we'll use navy blue. And where's my red crayon? I believe that is my red right there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to color this part of the flag blue, and then I'm going to color red and skip, so it'll be white. So red and white stripes for my flag right there. All right, I'm not going to color anything else blue or red on my paper, so I'm going to put these back. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do these little bushes. So I'm going to use different color greens. Now in my crayon box, I've got different shades of green. Depending on your crayon box or whatever you're using, you might be using markers, you might have different shades of green or you might not. So just use what you have. But I'm going to use these 3 greens right here, because we don't want to have it all the same color if you've got some choices. All right, so I am going to color this bush down here, this color green. And when you're coloring, you want to color neatly, stay inside your outline. So I'm going to color this one a lighter green. And you can mix crayons, by the way. So I can mix that light green with this dark green right here and kind of get another shade of green. So that looks kind of cool. And I think I'll put a little bit of this light green right here. So when you're coloring, I want you to take your time with coloring and I want you to try not to do what I call spaghetti coloring. That's this right here. I know that's what a lot of you want to do. We want to stop doing that. We want to color back and forth up to the edge, We know where the edge is because we've got that black outline right there. And we want to color inside our black color fence, and we're going to go back and forth like this, but we don't want any green to come outside of that black color fence. And we're going to go back and forth until all the white is colored in. You don't want to see any white left. So no spaghetti coloring is what I call it. And I'm going to mix some other green in here. So I'm going to mix some light green in here like this right here, so my tree looks like it has different shades of green. That's the cool thing about crayons, is you can mix them together and get new colors. All right, friends, so we're going to color all of this. You can color your building whatever color you want to color it. You can color your windows whatever color, but a good color will be yellow or yellow-orange. Use different shades of green down here for your grass and your bushes and your tree. Your sun is going to be different shades of warm colors, like your yellows, your oranges, your yellow oranges. You're going to leave your clouds white. You don't have to color them at all. Just color around them with your blue sky. Here's my colored piece. I colored my building this kind of red color. I used yellow orange for the windows. I used blue and yellow for the face, and I gave him a little red tongue and some little brown colored eyes. Different shades of green for my trees, and I mixed yellow and orange to make my sun, and then I did a blue background sky. So you decide on what colors you're going to use, and I look forward to seeing your creations. So until next time, my friends, peace, love, and sparkles from Miss P.